Okay, this is a figure, it's not Star Wars, it's Black Hole, so it's from 1979. Disney made a film, Black Hole, to try and cash in on the Star Wars hype. I saw it in 1979. At the time, being 9, I thought it was great, but I just rewatched it. It's okay, but it's a bit, when you compare it to Star Wars, it's pretty weak, but the robots are cool. This is the Sentry robot from the Black Hole, and it's quite articulated. It's about the same size as a Star Wars figure, and I think it's based on a Micronaut's body, so it's pretty articulated. It's got bendable knees, hips, twistable waist, elbows, wrists, and a swivel head. And it comes with one gun, which doesn't look like the gun it had in the film. In the film it had 2 blasters, but the gun can fit in the holster there. It's got a holster on both sides, and there's the hand. So the Sentry was one of the bad guys in the film, and there's a black version called S.T.A.R, and he's a lot more rarer to find. One of the Black Hole figures, the humanoid, is one of the hardest action figures to find, and that's worth a fortune. So out of all the Black Hole figures, the humanoid is worth a lot of money. So I saw this on eBay recently. It's pretty cheap, so I grabbed it, and it was released by Mego in 1979-80. This one the Sentry might have come slightly later, 1980, and then the 3 Old Bob, S.T.A.R, and the humanoid would have come in slightly later, and I think they're just Italian releases. I'm not too sure about that, and that's why they're so expensive. So here you are. Looks quite cool, purple. There's another robot in this, Maximilian. He's pretty cool character as well. So even though the script was a bit lame, the film had some cool looking villains. These robots are pretty cool, and they're not too movie accurate. They look quite cool. I had 2 of these when I was a kid, so I bought these in Whiteley's back in 90. Well, it'd been 90. Okay, so the memory card just ran out. So I bought these back in the day, back in 1979 in Whiteley's, when it was like a department store. This is a famous store in England, London, and now it's like a shopping mall. But in those days, it's like a huge department store, and must have gotten pretty cheap, because I had 2 of these Sentries plus a few of the other characters I'll show you on the back. So I did actually have these when I was a kid. So, and I thought the film back in the day was pretty cool, so I liked it. And the music's by John Barry, so the music's really good in the film. So if you've never seen it, it's worth checking out. And there you can see the gun, it's stuck between his legs, and is thus rather suggestive. Let's have a look at the back. There's the black hole at the bottom. They actually go inside. Okay, this is the back of the Black Hole Mego figure, Sentry, and it says the Black Hole, collectible Mego's fantastic action figures for your own adventures into the future. And you've got the characters. So you got Vincent. I think I had him when I was a kid. He's voiced by the guy, what's his name? Roddy McDowell, I think. He did the voice. He was in Planet of the Apes anyhow. And then you've got Dr. Kate McRae, beautiful geophysicist. You got Dr. Hans Reinhardt. He's the main villain in the film. He's like the crazed scientist who wants to plunge the ship, the Cygnus, into the black hole. Then you've got Maximilian. He looks really cool. He's a huge monster robot, and his arms have blades on them which can rip people to shreds. Then you've got the Captain Dan Holland. He's the command pilot. He's the sort of main hero, played by Robert Forster. There you are, and his ship's called the Palomino. Then you've got Ernest Borgnine as Harry Booth, the troublesome reporter. And you've got Charles Pizer. He's like his Captain Holland's sidekick. And then you've got Dr. Alex Durant, chief scientist. And he's played by, who is it, Anthony Perkins? Yep, Anthony Perkins. So these are the first wave of figures. So the Sentry came slightly after this. And he's not shown on the back. Out of these ones, I think I had Vincent. I think I must have had Holland and Pizer. I can't remember if I had any others, plus the two Sentries. So that's your Mego 1979-80 Black Hole figures. And so, nice back. This is their sort of Disney's slant on Star Wars, trying to get a piece of the action. The film didn't do very well. Okay, so that's your Black Hole figure. 1979-80 Disney Mego, and there's the Sentry. That's pretty cool. So there you are. Not Star Wars, Black Hole. Okay. If you like this, rate and subscribe. Cheers, thanks for watching.
The other thing I got was this Black Hole figure. It's Dr. Hans Reinhardt. He's the main villain, or main human villain, probably eclipsed by Maximilian. He's the guy that is in charge of the ship, the Palomino. And I think it's the Palomino. Well, he's the one that wants to take the ship into the black hole. What a nutter. So he's got beard, he's got a little gold medallion around his chest. These figures are quite articulated. Usually, I think they're called O-ring figures. So the O-ring inside could have snapped, but you never know. Cool looking figure. Great card art. So this is an Italian card. Gig. But it's a Mego figure. Dr. Hans Reinhardt, but written in Italian. And yeah, Black Hole. So you've got to see all the writing in Italian up the top. Cool figure though, really nice. Back of the card you can see all the Black Hole figures. So far I've got him on a US card, him on an Italian card, him on an Italian card. That's it. There's Dr. Kate McRae, Captain Dan Holland, Hans Reinhardt, Old Bob, Humanoid. He's the rarest out of the bunch. This is a super rare figure. S.T.A.R, he's rare. I got him on the 8-inch magnetic figure of him. You've got Dr. Alex Durant, Charlie Pizer and Harry Booth. So these three figures are super rare. S.T.A.R, Humanoid is just a legend, and Old Bob. So there's Maximilian. So these figures are highly sought. And here's the front of the card again. Black Hole. Italian card, beautiful item. Really nice. Okay. Black Hole figure on Italian gig card, Mego 1979-1980. UKG graded 875 overall. Really nice. Pretty articulated figure for the time, a bit like the G.I. Joes that were to come slightly later. And you got the great card image there. So look at the card grades there. Black Hole, Dr. Hans Reinhardt, 1979 gig, Italian 12 back, archive number Card 75, bubbled 80, figure 85, UKG 75. You can see the figure there. It's got a little medallion around his chest. And yeah, it's a great looking figure. So, really nice. The black hole. Beautiful item there. And what's great about this is the card back. You've got all 12 figures you can get in this series, and it's the robots that are the tough ones to find, and then the more highly sought. The humanoid here is just like a action figure legend. He goes for I've never seen a carded humanoid, so I mean even on eBay or anything like that. That's this figure's a legend, action figure legend, worth a fortune. S.T.A.R, he's probably the second most highly sought, then Old Bob. So these three figures are really tough to find. I was lucky to find him as the magnetic figure. You've got Durant, Pizer, Harry Booth, Dan Holland, Mark Gray, Vincent, and the robot Sentry. And it says that in Italian. Cool. A really nice figure, Italian, 1979. There you can see it says Mego Corp there. So they're distributed by Gig in Italy. Really nice figures. Dr. Hans Reinhardt. So now I've got him, Vincent and Maximilian on these Italian Gig cards. Really nice. Okay. So, cheers, bye. It's a 75 because there's a crease here. You can see where the writing is. There's a faint crease. But this is such a rare item. Just looks really nice. Mego, Gig, Italian, Dr. Hans Reinhardt. Very nice. You can see the ship going into the black hole there. And what's good about these is the Italian cards feature different card art to the US cards. What is the connection between Pink Floyd and Wind in the Willows? Okay, what is the connection? Is it the first album?
Yeah, what about the first album?
Is it a song on the first album?
No, song.
What is it then?
So it is the first album, but you've got to tell me what about the first album.
Was all the songs inspired by the Wind in the Willows? Or what?
It's quite opportune that these arrived this morning. I've got them off eBay at really good prices because these are quite expensive things usually, and these are black hole figures. So the Black Hole was the Disney film that tried to, back in '79, tried to capture some of the impetus of Star Wars, which was such a smash back then, and it was quite a flop. I mean, I went to see it back in those days. I quite liked it, but I was only 9 at the time, so you know. And these are the minifigures that were made. Same sort of scale as Star Wars figures, 3 3/4 inch, and they mainly made human characters without any accessories, and they were made by Mego. And these are the droids. The droids are a lot rarer. There's 3 series in this range. And the droids are the rarest ones. You've got Maximilian here, the red one. He's the sort of villain. Very famous because he's got claws that come out and spin around, and he shreds his opponents apart. And you also got Vincent, the sort of equivalent of R2-D2, friendly little robot. And also in the news last night was the news that Disney has also bought up Lucasfilm. So it's quite opportune. That's why I'm saying it's quite opportune that these arrived today, because you've got a sort of Disney connection to, well, sci-fi films and Star Wars. Also, Mego had the chance to make the original Star Wars figures back in '78, and they passed on it, and the license went to Kenner. who's been sort of involved with Star Wars, well, with Hasbro as well now. But so these are really nice Black Hole figures. These are Italian cards. They were sold by GIG, and Italian Power of the Force Star Wars figures also have the GIG logo on them. So these are really nice. They're graded, both graded 80 overall. The Vincent is Series 2 Mego GIG Black Hole. Card gets 80, bubble 85, figure 90, and it's an archival case. Overall it's at 80 near mint. And Vincent, Maximilian, he's overall 80, card gets 80, bubble 80, figure 85. And he's not archival though. Low populations of these two. If you check out AFA, it's about 3 or 4 of the Vincents and 5 of the Maximilians graded on the Italian GIG cards. There's probably a lot more on the Mego US cards. Okay, so really nice front card, generic card. The only difference is the sticker which says the character's name in the top. It's got Vincent and Maximilian. Nice though, because they're Italian cards, you know. They're foreign, look pretty nice. Made in Hong Kong, the figures. I can't read Italian, so I can't really say what it says in the top corner. We'll look at the Maximilian first. There's the figure and the card, really nice. Okay, and then we'll look at the back of the card, which is really interesting as well. So you've got the human characters plus the robots. The robots with a robot Sentry, which I've got, and a US card ungraded. Vincent, the robot there, which I've got today. Maximilian in the middle. S.T.A.R, which is really rare. Old Bob, which is really rare. And Humanoid, which is a legendary character. That's the Humanoid there. That is a really super rare character, up there with the Vinyl Cape Jawa, the Mego Romulan, super rare figure. If you check on Google, just type in Black Hole Humanoid Mego, and you'll see how rare that figure is. And it's a great figure as well. Human characters aren't as good, but they're a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable. Lowest I've seen is the Humanoids. You could get maybe Dr. Kate McRae in the US for about $7 carded, which is very cheap. These robots are a lot more pricey. There's Maximilian. Comes on a stand, action figure stand. Let's see if I can get him a bit closer. Not a bad figure. Has a swivel head, swivel arms, little flaps, directional flaps, but it's quite a good figure. There's Maximilian. And I'll show you Vincent now. So Vincent's got his head down. Great little figure. It's a bigger case because of the bubble size. Okay, Vincent is quite a nice Italian carded figure. Has little thrusters, his head moves up, comes with 2 blasters, 2 movable arms, 2 retractable legs, and an action figure stand as well. Even loose, this figure goes for about 20 to 50 quid. Same with Maximilian. So, you know, both are really nice. Same card back. I'd like to get S.T.A.R one day, maybe. Humanoid is out of my range. I'll never get that one. Old Bob, he's like Vincent but beaten up. There's a robot Sentry on eBay at the moment. I'm tempted to get that, but it's a US card. And then you've got Dr. Hans Reinhardt, he's quite good. There's also some magnetic figures released in Italy. And, you know, now with Star Wars being owned by Disney, this is a sort of interesting reference to when Disney tried to do Star Wars back in the 70s. and they didn't do it well. But these figures have sort of gained a sort of, the film's gained a sort of cult status now, and the figures are quite highly collectible, especially the robots like Maximilian, Vincent, Old Bob, S.T.A.R, and of course the humanoid is the legendary figure. Really rare. Okay, so I've got a lot to review today and I want to get it all done, so that's these two, the black hole figures. You've got the Maximilian, which is a great character, sort of the villain of the film, quite ruthless. It's good at the end of the film when he's holding Dr. Hans Reinhardt after they've gone through the black hole. And you've got little Vincent there, great figure as well. Okay.
Okay, we've got something really nice here. This is the Mego GIG, only sold in Italy, magnetic S.T.A.R. So S.T.A.R is a legendary figure. He's one of the toughest black hole figures to find. The 3 3/4 inch version of S.T.A.R is really tough to find. And the humanoid figure that was also only sold in Italy and Canada is one of the rarest action figures ever. So, but to get S.T.A.R is just brilliant, and it's an amazing figure. It's magnetic, so at the neck, the shoulders and the hips there's magnetic balls that are holding the figure together, so the arms, legs and head can be removed. Unfortunately the head's a bit turned, but this is S.T.A.R. He's a classic robot from the black hole. He's the one that Vincent shoots up in the end. They have a competition to see who's the best shot. I mean, there's the gun he comes with, which is pretty inaccurate because the guns they had in the black hole movie were really nice. They were like, they had 2 barrels, one at the top and one at the bottom, and they look wicked, man. But this robot looks amazing. This is from 1979, I do believe. And it was only sold in Italy, hence it's really tough to find. And the smaller version, the 3 3/4 inch version, is even more rarer to find. But at least I've got S.T.A.R. So his name's spelled S full stop T full stop A full stop and so on, with the R of course. But this figure's a bleeding legend. So here's the back of the figure. Looks amazing. There's a better look at the head. This is S.T.A.R, man. And there's, you know, this figure's top drawer, man. Really nice. Made in Hong Kong, only sold in Italy though, because the black hole line didn't do at all well. But I had the figures when I had the kids. I had the 3 3/4 inch figures. I think I got them at Whiteley's in London back in the day. So this is AFA graded, and you know, it's really nice. There's a guy on YouTube called Cafe Boy. He collects black hole figures, so hopefully he'll see this, you know. And you know, it looks amazing. There, good look view of the head. It's AFA 85, and in Italy these were sold by Mego GIG. So this is a gig figure. I've already shown, like in 2012, I got 2 black hole 3 3/4 inch carded Italian figures. I got Vincent and Maximilian. They also had Vincent and Maximilian in this this one for sale as well. But I went for the S.T.A.R because S.T.A.R is just such a, well, it's going to be impossible to get in a 3 3/4 inch. You're talking about carded £1,000 easily. Loose graded, they're going for £600. This figure, the 3 3/4 inch version of S.T.A.R, but this is a flipping legend, man. So you know, let's see if I can see what it says on the. So it says 1979 Mego Gig Black Hole loose magnetic figure Hong Kong S.T.A.R AFA 85, you know, and you know, it looks amazing. Love the black finish of this cool item. Come on, man. Whoever's watching this, who's ever into Black Hole, has to say this figure's bleeding cool. The only better version of S.T.A.R would be the 3 3/4 inch version, but this is still really nice. It looks amazing. So, you know, S.T.A.R. There's 2 screws in the back. What a nice figure, man. I'm so happy I got this one. I am so pleased. I'm gonna cry. Okay, so this is just a top drawer figure, man. It's such a legend. And they have to reissue these figures, man. You know those, what are they called? The ones that did the alien figures in the 80s style. They've got to do the Black Hole figures, man. Because these figures are so awesome, especially the robots. I mean, I'm not bothered about the human characters. Just collect the robots, man. Yeah, Vincent Maximilian, S.T.A.R, Old Bob. Old Bob's worth a fortune as well. And the humanoid is just, I can't really think of a rarer action figure than the humanoid. Such a legend. Okay. So, I mean, you check on eBay, you go Mego Black Hole and see what's out there. So this is such a nice item. Wow. And these figures are based on the Micronauts line. So they've got super articulation back in the 1970s, late 70s. So they're ahead of the game back in the day. Shame the head's turned. But what a head, man. But he is a robot, so, you know. Look at that. Blooming beautiful. So there you are. S.T.A.R. What a legend, man. Top figure, man. Comes with a nice blaster. Best place to find one of these is in Italy. And they do come up. There's one already on eBay for about 70 quid, ungraded. A bit more rusty than this one, but still, you know. This one costs more than the other two, the Vincent and the Maximilian. But I had to get this because S.T.A.R is such a legend. And it's the only way I'm going to get a figure of S.T.A.R. Just so nice. Beautiful figure. From 1979. 36 years ago. What a figure, man. Okay, so you can see I'm really pleased with this figure. So, you know, top drawer. Alright, cheers. Time to say goodbye. Bye.
You know the story? Have you read the book?
I'm not sure. I have. Maybe years ago.
Yeah.
But it's Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and it's a chapter from the story Wind in the Willows. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Right.